Hey, I want to quickly go over a use case for this video. So for this example, I've downloaded the photo sharing social media backend template from the marketplace, which is just similar to Instagram. So let's say you're building an app like this and you want to be able to make sure all the users of your app can see all the content that's put out there by other users. But you want to be able to enforce that only users who own certain photos can edit and delete the photos that they own. So let's take a look. Here in these photo API CRUD endpoints, I'm going to go ahead and click into this get photo, which queries all the photo records. The way this is set up now is any user who is authenticated in your application, which means signed in, are able to get all of the photo records, or they're able to see all of them. Now, if you wanted to disable authentication and have it so anyone who came into your app who didn't have to be signed in could access them, you would simply just disable user authentication here. Okay, so anyone can see the photos, right? So let's go ahead and look at editing and deleting a photo. How do we want those set up? So they're going to be the pretty much the same exact setup. So let's go ahead and click on this post first, which is for a user to edit the photo. So at first glance here, might look like there's a lot going on, but it's actually quite simple. So first of all, only the authenticated user, so someone who is logged in, can actually access this operation, right? The inputs are the photo ID, and it looks like the image, the caption, and something tagged on the photo can be edited, right? So let's go to the function stack. Let's look at the actual logic. So the first thing that we're doing is we're getting a record, and we're calling this photo owner. And that's just based on the field value of the photo ID. So we're getting a single photo. And now here's where some of the enforcing comes in. We're setting a precondition, which means this has to be true for this API endpoint to perform its actual action. So this precondition is defining right here that the photo owner.user ID must equal the authenticated user ID. And so this means that within the authentication token that the user receives when they're signed in, that ID matches the user ID from this first record here, okay? So if that passes, then the user is able to edit the record. If not, it'll throw an error. Okay, so that's how you enforce that only the person who owns the photo can actually edit it. And if we go look at delete, it's going to be the exact same setup. So if I click on this delete, you'll see the only input is the photo ID, but the same thing. We're first getting a record to check the photo owner, and in this output, we're having the user ID, just like the edit record endpoint, and then we're setting this precondition, just making sure that that user ID of that photo owner variable, which is that record we just got, matches the authenticated user ID. And if that passes, then the user can delete the photo. If not, we'll be stopped.